Alright guys, welcome to the GGG YouTube channel. I went for GGG because Gunners, gloves and gabagles a wee bit a tongue twister. Before I start today, I just want to say two RIPs. One to my uncle, Speedo, who I lost recently, a very close friend of mine. And one to Manchester's own, Ricky the Hitman Hatton. One of my boxing childhood heroes growing up. Many a night watching a Ricky Hatton fight. So, sad loss, Guy 46 as well. So, yeah. So today I've got a special guest on, a friend of mine, who I consider a friend. Somebody I met at a kind of funny time in my life when I was doing a course. But kind of got me through it in a sense and was positive and was, don't know, just a good guy, just a good energy. Lewis MacArthur, how you doing?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Good, good.
Good stuff. It's thanks for having me. It's obviously good to see you do this. Something that I think will bring the best out in you as well. You can talk, but you've also got a good message for people. I think getting out there is only going to spread positivity to everybody.
Appreciate that, Lewis. Appreciate your time. So, Lewis, I don't want to say what back to the start, carry on, but give me a wee breakdown on you and what you're about.
Deep question, eh? It's how many layers do you want to go? So, 27, just turned. Got a couple of businesses in the barbering, kind of how we met, how this came about, I guess. So I've got a brand, Cut 17, Cut Academy. But realistically, who I really am is just someone that's trying to make a bit of an impact as wide as I can. Obviously starting pretty small as I build up, doing my thing. Just want to see where it can go. As I say, vocation in life is to make a change somehow.
It's hard, innit, because Scottish mentality's kind of, don't know, we've got a good mentality in a sense, 'cause a lot of people have a good work ethic, but we've also got a weird mentality as well, haven't we?
Yeah, I think society's obviously, today obviously we live in a crazy world. It's just trying to break free putting limits on yourself. I think too many people put a roof on what they can do. I'm just lucky to have the mindset and kind of been around the right people at a good time in life that have kind of took boundaries off themselves at a young age. I latched onto that and just try to see where I can go. How much of my dreams I can achieve by hard work. As you say, a lot of people are kind of caught, not a lot of people, but there is people that kind of suppress how much they can do in their life. And I think for me, who I've became is just someone that wants to do the best that I can, whatever I can.
See, for such a young guy, when I was 27, I was kind of positive, but how did you get so positive in the books and the mind? Did somebody put you onto that, or was it more just like finding it yourself?
I feel probably, I think my best, well, I know actually my best mate, he pro MMA fighter. I saw him at 16, it's funny, I actually spoke about this not that long ago. He locked in with something that was bigger than him. He knew from a young age what he wanted to do. And I think that's the biggest thing, and it's something I'll always preach. If you find something that latches onto you inside, that you know, this is what I'm going to do, and as you do it, it makes you happy, it becomes a lot easier to be like this. I think a lot of people, because they haven't found that thing, or they haven't found who they are, they then try and use cheap dopamine. So going out drinking because they didn't have that purpose in life. And by the way, going out drinking is fun. There's times for it. But it can also be used as a tool to try and escape the reality. But I kind of found it through my best mate. He set aside a goal for himself and just didn't stop. He's achieving it. So once I seen that, this was maybe at like 16, 17, I would say. And I would laugh at him to start with because I had that mindset of, again, I was 18, so it wasn't too bad. But I was going out all the time and I was enjoying myself. And by the way, I'm glad I did because it builds character, it builds who you are. But I seen him starting to just veer off slightly and get a wee bit more zoned in, a wee bit more deliberate with his approach to life. And then a year goes by and I see him, oh, he's ticked that, what he says he was going to do at 17. And then 18, it would happen again. And I'm like, right, there's something happening here. And as well, you're the average of the 5 closest people to you. He was the closest to me. So he was an inspiration to a lot of us, and it kind of showed us that if you believe in yourself enough, and that's really what it comes down to, if you believe in yourself enough, you can do whatever you want in this world. So he's the biggest influence to me, I would say. And then kind of just latching on to, he would tell me something, oh, I'm trying this, a gratitude journal. And I would be like, And then 6 months later, I've got a gratitude journal, and now 4 years deep, I write my gratitude journal every morning. Certain books they would talk to me about, and then as the ball started rolling, I started to find out who I was. So then I started going down my path with this positive, just mindset. I think just having a cup half full mindset rather than a cup half empty is something that will change your life. But I would probably say, yeah, Mark, my best mate, was probably the biggest influence to kind of steer me onto this. I think probably I would have got there anyway, but I think him helping me get there a bit younger has obviously paid me well and got me to where I am today.
It's mad, Lewis, isn't it? Because you think about the old school, didn't really talk about that, didn't know, growing up. Like, it sounds bad, but your dad, your grandfather, I never heard the word even positive. Like, it was just like a word you knew, but you never actually, nobody actually told you, listen, you can leave school, you can do this. It was always like, I don't know, it's a small-minded mindset, isn't it, really?
Again, it's funny, I speak to my dad and my papa about this a lot, my gran. But again, you need to look at, it was a different world back then. You had different priorities back then, and as much as you shouldn't really, well, you can say it, but men had to meet men back then, or they felt like that anyway, because it was so stereotypically, be hard working, didn't show your emotion, just get on with it type of mindset, which is good. I think if you look at today's world, there's still a bit of that that's maybe been left behind too much. I think some of that still needs to get brought back, because they never, I feel like the world is getting a bit soft these days, and having a wee bit more of that for my dad's generation, especially my papa's generation, I think would help us. I think obviously with everything that's going on in the world, and I'm no into politics at all, so if we talk about that, I've not got a clue. No. But just, it's a different world that we live in, so trying to like speak to my dad and papa about stuff, you can see that it's not as easy to them, but just because they've been brought up in a different generation, so sometimes they'll have a different outlook just because they've had a different upbringing and they've had a different life, really. The life that they grew up in is completely different to the one I'm growing up in, just because of everything that's going in the exterior world. I think, as I say, it's just a different world, I think.
Well, see, so you were you and Mark kind of were the only guys in the group, or was it other guys following you?
No, so...
Do you know what I mean? Was it just you two kind of,
yeah,
let's just do this journey together a wee bit? Do you know what I mean?
No, I wouldn't say that. Me and Mark knew each other the longest out the group because we went to school together.
Right.
We then started going out in Dunfermline, so there's kind of a big group of us through there. Obviously, Falkirk boys in Dunfermline. Eventually didn't end well.
Aye.
Just ended up in stupid trouble for no reason. But kind of to the tail end of that phase of life, that's when he started going, right, this isn't for me. I was still absorbed by it because I was having fun.
Aye.
But I could see him kind of just peeling away. If it was at the weekend, oh, I'm not coming out this weekend. I'm not coming out the next game weekend. And I was like, And then as I see him kind of veering that way and focusing on himself, and I was still stuck with this group, by the way, all great guys, and all went on to do well. But we were just getting caught in a habit of the life that we were living. So eventually I just started to see sense, and it came to a time where it was like, if I continue there, now I don't know where my life would have ended up. It's no, that's making it sound deeper than it is. It's not. But I could have just got caught into that mindset of I'll work Monday to Friday and I'll enjoy the weekend, which again, there is nothing wrong with, whatever fulfills your life. But for me, I feel like I've always had something in me that's wanted to do good or be big within myself. Know that the life that I'm creating has value to it for me, no one else. But what I then found that out, and I'm sure we'll get on to talk about it at some point, I met I'd say a mentor now, a family friend, I guess, a guy called Kevin Craggs. So there's another one that had great influence, but this was later on in life. I went on a family holiday to Florida, and he's just like me in the way that the same outlook in life, but so much more life experience. And we actually just had a conversation now. This was the first time I ever met him. We were at his house for a family barbecue, and we just chatted, literally just like this, across the table. And he just let me pour out who I am. He just asked me certain questions. I just started speaking, telling him who I am, what I do. Without even me realising it, I was giving him a lot of information that I thought was quite vague. And he came back to me. And so I spoke, and then he spoke. But he started telling me everything about me. And I was like, I've just met you. But when he was telling me it, I was like, you're right. You're right. And I actually left that conversation a bit upset, in a good way, because I just figured out who I was. At that time, or after the conversation finished, he was like, Lewis, your vocation, I hadn't even heard that word before, but your vocation in life, so your meaning for life, is to help people. And I kind of just sat, and I thought to myself, he's right. And ever since that day, my goal in life, and I genuinely mean this, however I can, kind of how this relationships came about.
Yep.
And this was before I met him.
Aye.
And it's funny, I was actually talking to someone the other day, we'll get back to that. I was like, and me and you just had good conversations.
Aye.
And I was trying to give you an outlook that was maybe hard because the situation you were in.
Aye.
But you were probably the first person that I can remember that I maybe had just a wee bit of influence on. Mm-hmm. There maybe was other people, but especially I was only 22 back then. But I think looking back at it now, it's always kind of been part of me.
Was that 5 years ago?
5 years ago, aye. But aye, so going back to Kev's conversation, he obviously let me know that he thought, he's someone I look up to massively, that my life's vocation was to help. And ever since that day, it just sunk with me. And I was like, that is it. Now, obviously, I want to go on and do well with business, my career, football. But what I've realised is I love barbering, which I do, obviously, with a job and stuff. But what gives me the real pleasure out of that is the connections I can build with people, the conversations I can have. The academy side of it is giving people an outlook or a different path in life for a new career, which can bring them happiness. So if it's just through conversation, if it's through giving someone a new set of skills, whatever it is, if I feel like I can help, and at the end of my life I feel like I have made a positive impact, then to me, I'll be happy. But aye, Kevin Craggs with that conversation's kind of switched the thought process. I'm not just going out to become the I am. It kind of showed me that helping other people will help you get to where you want to be. I think there's not enough of that.
Aye.
That's the problem.
See, it's funny you mentioned that, right? My uncle passed away, right? Bit of a stoner, right? But good guy, right?
Yeah.
But one of his quotes was like the Bob Marley one, like, it's not about how much wealth you acquire, it's about your integrity and how much you impacted people positively. Because when somebody passes away, you don't think about the car or the house, you think about seeing us about them. They feel good, did they give me a compliment? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see it rather than just going, I don't know, just be obsessed with money or upset. Do you know what I mean? There's not enough of that. It's always
100%.
It's like a competition thing. People try crabs in the bucket mentality, where it's not about that. You don't feel good in that.
I think,
you know what I mean?
I don't know who else said it. Maybe it was Bob Marley. I'm not sure. But
You see a lot of good quotes.
It was, someone asked him, or he asked someone, how rich do you want to be?
I remember that one.
And he then replied, but what is rich? Rich to you might be different to me. Now, obviously, there's this want to be wealthy with money, and I genuinely am so grateful that I've developed this kind of mindset and looking outside the box of material things now. I still like that side of it, but going back to the quote, it's rich in what? In money and happiness and health. I think people become so attached to wanting to make X, Y, and Z, or they want to have that. And to be honest with you, I kind of had to have a bit of a sit down with myself and realise that I was kind of falling into that trap now. I'm on the other side of, I know that material things and stuff don't make everyone happy, or it isn't the be all and end all, but I was kind of getting sucked into that earlier all my life. I've kind of peeled back a wee bit, and don't get me wrong, I still like nice stuff. I work hard, but I think trying to buy validation for people that you don't actually care about, and they didn't care about you through stuff that realistically you probably can't afford anyway, it starts to just create a bit of a cycle negatively on you. So I now just focus on real wealth, making sure I'm always happy, having a peace of mind, freedom of thought, of speech, of time, which I'm actually having another chat with myself about, where this working environment to get to where I want to be kind of strips that freedom away from you. So it's just that trading. Something needs to give. And that's life though.
I know.
That's what's so good about life. And
I know. The juggling act, isn't it?
that's it. Life's a game and you just need to play it as best as you can. I think once you develop that mindset, that two kind of ways to look at it, I think, or how I do, which be grateful to even have the experience. But remember, it doesn't really matter anyway, because it's going to end. But use that as in, well, go and try. Go and try it, like this, for instance.
I know. Get a go. See what happens.
Get a go. No one cares as much as you do.
No.
And that's, I think, you want to try and get that out of your brain as quick as you can. Like, oh, what about if he says that? Or they're going to talk about it. And I know there'll be people that, for you'll know that people will be talking about this.
Of course they will.
There'll be so much positive, but
probably more negative in a sense.
That wee chat in your head will be like, what about the negative people? You'll not think about, the positive, the people that are going to be like, fair play, you're smashing it. You always start to think, but what about this and what about that? And I think as soon as you can get away from that and just do it for you, because again, it's going to end one day, makes it that wee bit easier. So having that two-way looking at it is, be grateful that you're here, because without having this experience, you wouldn't have it. But remember that don't take yourself too serious or anything in life, because one day it's going to be done.
It's over,
like that. So just enjoy it while you're here and take risks. Feel big. That's kind of the mindset I've got.
Lewis, you don't think it's weird though how, I don't know, you're not naturally negative, but you understand what I mean? In a sense, like your body.
Me personally,
just
or just generally?
I think you wake up, you're kind of naturally like, why should I go to the gym, or why should I do anything? Do you know what I mean?
But that's because you've programmed. Like
that's what I'm saying. That's childhood almost, in it, right through.
Environment. I think setting up healthy habits, just breaking bad habits is a big thing. So, wee things for me that kind of help me get through my day. And by the way, I'm not going to sit here and say that I nail this all day, every day, because I didn't. But I have non-negotiables for myself that need to get done. Wake up. And it's funny, this part of it. So every day I wake up, I always say thank you. Thank you for another day. Thank you for movement. Because again, it comes back to that gratitude. And I think that's a massive thing. I think once you become truly grateful for anything, really, the small things, it makes the bigger things better. But when you realise how grateful you are for the small things, it makes life easier. And it's funny, because I've been coming on this, I've been listening to just like podcasts, just to see how people are speaking, and just so I come across well, basically. I didn't want to, for instance, you speaking, I speak over the top of you.
That's tricky.
Stuff like that. But it was a Matthew McConaughey, and he was speaking about when he was younger, and he was talking, it was something to do with his mum. His mum was saying, he'd said something about new shoes, and he wasn't getting them. But his mum was like, so you're annoyed about having no shoes, but I could show you a child with no feet. So it's kind of always thinking that side of it. So non-negotiables, I think, and that's what I was getting to, like just being grateful for what you've got. I think once you start to see the good stuff happening in your life and kind of put the bad stuff to the side, don't get rid of it, you can, but just focus on the good stuff. Once you start attracting or being open to the good stuff, it becomes easier for you to see it. So again, being grateful, saying thank you. I've got my gratitude journal. Again, just practicing gratitude. You're starting your day grateful for whatever it is. Sometimes it's, I'll look at the window and it's a blue sky. It's never, and when I first started, I'm grateful for my car outside. Material. As you then get deeper into it, you start to realise that I enjoy having my car, but it's not what I'm really grateful for. I'm grateful that, again, I have movement. I'm grateful that I get to live another day. And it sounds extreme. It really does. But once you can start to think like that, it means I can leave my day going, right, I'm ready for the day because I've got another day. Sometimes it will be, I'm grateful to hear the birds singing because it brings peace. And I think this is where I've got quite deep with this, but I enjoy it and it brings peace in my life and it keeps me going forward and going in the right direction for me. Non-negotiable, cold shower. Cold shower will change your life, I'm telling you.
I've done a few.
And it's every morning, mate.
Aye.
Every morning. And it's I'm not even really doing it for the health benefits. It's because I wake up every morning, and by the way, every morning, it wastes 5 minutes of my day because I'll stand outside the shower and go, I don't know what to do this. And I'll sit on my phone for a couple of minutes just to stall it. And it's that fight, that we...
Any excuse almost.
That's it. It's like the chimp paradox.
Aye.
That little monkey that's always going to...
Aye, I've heard that one, aye.
There's always going to be that negative, but it's overriding that. So every time that negative voice comes in, I'll go, no. So when he says, oh, you didn't want to go in the show, just turn it hot.
Aye.
I'm going to go, no, I'm doing it. So it's just this wee battle in your mind, and I'm going to win. So that, me stepping into that cold shower, I then have my cold shower and I come out and I go, right, I've won the first battle of the day. So I've already done something that I didn't want to do. I think just setting wee things like that for you early on in the morning make your day easier. And obviously there's that, you win the morning, you win the day. You win enough days, you win the week. You win enough weeks, you win the month. And if you look at it like that, it all starts with your morning. So morning routines obviously would change anybody's life, genuinely. It's something that I've installed. Just 3 things. Wake up, be grateful, have that cold shower to win the first battle. And
diet, maybe. See.
Sometimes. Diet's obviously...
You know what I mean? No, it can affect your day. You can eat too much sugar, you're a bit hyper.
Of course, I wouldn't sit here and say my diet's absolutely... It's pretty good, but we're all like a wee bit of rubbish here and there.
Aye.
But, read. Aye. Meditate. That's 4. That's my 4. So, wake up, be grateful, so write my gratitude journal, have my cold shower, meditate, and what was mine in there? Why have I just forgot that? Cold shower.
Cold shower.
Gratitude. Read.
Read. So, which is dying, actually. Reading's dying. Even books is dying. When's the last time somebody bought a book? All this tablet stuff. But do you know what I mean? No, in general. Course. I go in Waterstones and just walk about and it is still busy, but don't see many people reading. The phone's too easy, isn't it?
Exactly.
Phone, too easy.
Kindles, iPads, I know. Which is fine.
If you're getting I don't feel as if you get the same at it, but you old school book.
That's
I don't know.
It's just
pages, in it.
Yeah. It's just the world we live in. I like the feeling of a book.
Aye. I
like buying a book and then I like when I finish a book I can put it in my, I've not got one yet, but like my bookshelf. So then I'll have a library and I'd look at it as, I don't know if it's looking too far ahead, but when I have a child one day, hopefully, I'll have this bookcase with all these books that I think I can pass down. That's just wee things like that I would prefer that than, don't get me wrong, I've kind of been swaying with a Kindle, but I'll stick with a book.
So Lewis, tell me this, barbering. Why barbering?
It's funny, and that's kind of what I was going back to there. I always ask myself that. Why this? Why that? To start with, I fell into it. Family, back when I was 18, had a shop. I was in school and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. Obviously, a young kid kind of came up believing I was going to be a footballer. Even thinking that, did I believe it? Because I never had the right attitude. So I think I was relying on it just happening. I wasn't really putting the effort in for it. So kind of when that started dwindling, I started to think, right, well, what else am I going to do? And I remember high school biology, teacher went around the class and just asked everyone, what you're going to do when you leave? And I just threw out hairdresser for a laugh. And then again, it was just like a wee spark. And I was like, maybe I could be a hairdresser. Warm shop. I didn't really like manual labour. Wouldn't really want to sit behind a desk all day. Wasn't qualified enough to go to uni. So that was kind of the first, again, spark, I guess, first wee thought. And then my little cousin was a Saturday girl. where she was working, was looking for an apprentice, basically. Skipped for there, got the job, became a hairdresser over the 3 years. But once I finished my apprenticeship, I knew being a hairdresser in Falkirk wasn't for me. So Rebel, obviously kind of where your story then takes off.
Yep.
I got a job with them, and just found a passion for cutting hair through that. And I loved where I was before, but the women's side of it wasn't really for me. It was just a way to getting into the industry. Now, it is the best thing I could ever done, becoming a hairdresser first. So if there's anyone out there that's looking to get into the barbering world, except for coming to Cut Academy, hairdressing is probably the best way of doing it. Go there first, understand the true fundamentals of cutting hair over a course of time. If you're younger and you can kind of get into a shop like that, then pick up a pair of clippers. I think a lot of times these days, people just pick up clippers and they get all right at skin fade, but they can't actually cut hair. But anyway, I'd went to Rebel, got the job there. That's when I got onto the academy kind of side of it, education. And by the way, I'd only been so I'd actually lied on my CV to Alan. I told him I had 3 years on the floor as a fully qualified barber and hairdresser. I hadn't. I'd just finished my apprenticeship.
That's belief in yourself,
it was just shoot your shot, I guess. And by the way, I was no good. So fair play to him. I could cut women's hair, obviously.
Aye.
Gents hair, because I had a passion in it, I was all right. But he obviously seen something in me, and I would never take that away from him. He never seen me and thought, oh, he's the guy. He's seen that I was a young lad just wanting a break somewhere. So he gave me the job on the day, kind of became a stylist / barber, and that was it. He then got me into the academy, so that was 22. And for there, my kind of barbering career went hand in hand with education. So I've been a barber for 7 years. Have I? No, 9 years. No, I've been in the hair industry 9 years. I've been a barber 7 years. But I've also been educating 7 years. So it's like when I tell people that, it doesn't actually make sense. But it's just how it worked out. So as I was educating to start with, before your course, it was actually subconsciously teaching me, because I wasn't the main guy, obviously. There was another educator there, and I was just his other set of eyes, should I say. So when I was watching him teach, but I was also watching what he was teaching. And I would then use what I'd just seen, observed from him, into my practice when I went back to the barber shop. So I think that was quite a unique way for me to learn, which I didn't even really understand until maybe I got into education properly, where I realised that's where I was learning. I've had one-to-one education. I went down to London. But other than that was really it. And then fast forward, I've now got Cut 17, got my own academy, we're exploring, opening up another shop in the next couple of months.
Brilliant.
So all's gone well. But why I became a barber today, and why I think I am a barber, isn't it because I absolutely love hair. Now I enjoy it and I take passion in it. But again, it gives me one-to-one time with people.
Aye.
It lets me work with the public, but I think going a wee bit deeper than that, obviously 90% of my clients are male, younger male. So I look at it as, can I be a person of influence to the younger generation? It's genuinely a question I ask myself daily or weekly. Could I be someone to them that they can look up to now? I know I'm not anyone, but if I could be someone that I can say to someone coming through high school like myself that didn't do great with their grades and stuff, that you can make it if you find something you truly believe in. And I have that conversation with a lot of guys or a lot of young lads in my shop, just about, don't worry if you didn't get good grades, because it's a memory test at school. Mm-hmm. It's no the be all and end all. And I wish I knew that. I think kind of 6 years was a bit lost, didn't really know what I was going to do. Luckily fell into something that I've enjoyed. But yeah, I think I'm a barber, so again, going back to my original, just so I can help, really, through conversations. Even like the team that I've got, we've obviously got 6 boys working for us, great team. And I say it as a team, like these guys aren't under me, these guys are with me. I want to take us to the top or help and let them help me. But even some of them are a bit younger. And if I can just be a person influence to them in any way, and anyone really, just try and live correct day to day to have people no look up to me because I'm no better than anyone, but just go, if he's done something well for himself, I can do it.
A positive influence.
That's it. That's just that's really it. It's just wanting to help everyone get the best out of themselves in their life. It's literally what my full vibe is, really. And I think barbering's great for that.
Brilliant, Lewis. So what about Edinburgh City FC? You're a semi-pro football player as well. Juggling a lot of plates here. Aye. How did that come about? Because I first met you were at Camelin? White Camelin? No.
Was it? Probably.
Red Top. What was the Red Top?
Aye,
Camelin, weren't you? And then you went to Edinburgh City. So
yeah. I'd actually signed. I went to Camelin, then went to Bo'ness United.
Oh, did you after that?
Aye. So right. I was a year and a half at Camelin. Actually, obviously, I didn't like saying gave up football, but I stopped playing when I started focusing on cutting hair. I was 18. My job was busiest on a Saturday as an apprentice, so I was never going to get the day off. So I had to stop playing for 4 years. Anyway, got back into it. Started off at Bathgate actually, like the lowest junior league in my area. Team wasn't doing great, and then got signed with Camelin the year after. So I went from Bathgate to Camelin, done a year and a half at Camelin, got them relegated. That wasn't good. Just there was stuff going on at the club. For Camelin, I went to Bo'ness. I was with Bo'ness for a year, and then got the call for Edinburgh City. It's been great. Last year we obviously done really well. I think we were looked at as favourites to go down last year. And then we went on, start the season, didn't do great. I think we were bottom after the first quarter. So first 9 games, we were sitting bottom. I think we'd won 1 game. And then kicked right on. Ended up finishing 3rd in the playoffs. So that's from being favourites to get relegated, having a shocker at a start, and then kicking right on to finishing 3rd, and then lost out in the playoffs, which was hard. I wasn't actually aware of how hard it was going to be, just personally. After the game, it was, you work all year to get that promotion under your belt, and obviously because I've not really came through football the same as everyone else, I stopped. I only played a wee bit of junior football and played then youth football, so I've never really had that.
Right.
So
you wanted to go on training as a kid, getting drilled into you? No.
Aye, so I played like pro youth and stuff as younger, but I mean, because I had that big gap, like I'd never, and with Camelin, we never won anything. Bo'ness, we never won anything.
I mean, like a hobby in a sense, keep fit. No, do you know what I mean?
It was always, once I got back into football, I remember writing on the board, like I will be a full-time football player.
Yep.
It's just a goal of mine, and it's see how far I can get. If I only aim to be part-time, then I'll always be part-time. If I aim to be a pro footballer and be full-time, I just need to outwork everyone else that's part-time. That was kind of my method with it.
Smart.
Obviously, it was easier saying that back then when I never had as many plates to juggle.
Aye, of course.
Still there though. It's still the aim is to become full-time if I can get a kick at it for a year, just to say I've done it.
Aye.
Just to tick the box. But no, it was always competitive, and it was always something that I was severely focused on. But I just mean, when we got to Edinburgh City, we got a chance at a bit, although we wouldn't have won the actual league, we would have gained promotion, which is still a very successful season, obviously. Fell short. And that was a tough couple of days, tough couple of weekends.
So close, all that effort.
But then that's kind of it though. That's life, innit?
Aye.
You're going to get slapped here and there. It's just how do you bounce back for it?
Aye.
The world's not going to stop, and especially with football, you've got next again season right round the corner. We had 3 weeks off because we got into the playoffs, so the league was extended 2 weeks to play the 4 games, and then we were back in sharp to go again. So, and
all you guys get is 3 weeks, though, is half?
You would normally get longer.
Short, isn't it?
Aye, it was short. 3 or 4 weeks, I think. But you would normally get about 5 or 6, I think. And then this year, gone again, currently sitting at the bottom of the table. We got a 15-point deduction at the start of the season, which there's no point in us even talking about it. No one really knows.
Right, okay. Swerve that one.
Aye. at the time, and again, because we'd done so well last season, and the 2 teams above us, so we finished third, and East Fife and Peterhead, who finished second and first, both went up. So you're then looking at, we should be favourites, which we then were. We were favourites to win the league before the League Cup. And then you get slapped by a 15-point deduction second week of the season. We got beat off Stirling Albion 2-1 in our first game, got the 15 points on the Tuesday. And to be honest with you, I think no, I'm not going to say it could have been the best thing for us, but the bounce back we've had from it has been incredible. We obviously, before the weekend there, we just got beat. We were unbeaten in 8 in all competitions, so we'd kicked on. Again, and it comes down to the gaffer, really. I don't know if you've heard of my gaffer, but
it's a bit crazy, I've heard. Not crazy, obviously. But
people would actually
eccentric, maybe.
I would agree with you, but I think crazy in a good way.
Aye.
Like, it's when I'll speak with Mark and stuff and talk about being crazy. Everyone from the outside will look at you as crazy.
Aye.
Because they're just so narrow-minded, and they're just so how everyone else is.
Aye.
He knows what he's going to do. That's how me and my gaffer get on pretty well. We'll always talk about like wee golden nuggets that he's had a proper career down south, done really well. So the knowledge that he's brought back up into us, football wise, is second to none. Like, I genuinely, and I say it all the time, I don't know, except for like your SPLs and stuff. And again, I didn't even know, but working with a different, like if I was to go to another team in a different league, it just wouldn't be the same. Like the passion that he has and the intelligence he has for football and how he coaches us is undeniable, that it brings the best out in us. And then it's just him and his mindset in life. Like, he knows what he wants to do. He knows what he wants to do, He knows who he is. So these things, like, I know who I am. I know what I want to do in life. And once you really understand that facet or that understanding of your life, it makes everyone or everything else a bit easier. So he knows who he is. He's not going to change. It's then, if other people think he's a bit out there or whatever, that's up to them. He is who he is, and he's got us going well. A great group of guys of his coaching staff and stuff at Edinburgh City. It's a good environment to be in, and I see us doing well this season, to be fair.
I've seen a few videos of stadium, that looks pretty good.
Yeah,
it seems like a good setup.
It's a good setup to be a player, if I'm honest. As a fan, obviously there's a bit of chat. It doesn't host a good atmosphere. Obviously there's a running track round our park, so it can be far away.
Oh, is that right? Okay, right.
But as a player, like, the surface is really good. The facilities are pretty good. So for me, I can't complain. But I could see it if you were watching and you were a supporter, it would maybe be a bit. But that is what it is. I would rather play in a good football park with the fans maybe 15 yards away than play on a grass park that's bobbly and there's atmosphere. Especially because of the kind of style of play, it suits us. Big open park, good surface, so it helps us play.
Lewis, how do you juggle all that in the city, in the business, staff, and then potential open up another shop?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. And that's something that I've been deeply thinking recently. I juggle it just by habit. It's just, I get up and do the same stuff every day. I have a kind of routine of how I work. So obviously, like, I work 7 days a week.
Do you?
Every day.
Wow.
Every day. I have done for, honestly, I don't know.
Couple of years anyway.
Nah.
A year.
Aye. I'd say so. Obviously, I've had holidays and stuff.
Aye, of course.
Obviously, I've had holidays, but I mean,
you'd burned it otherwise.
I think it's something that I really need to think about, to be honest with you, because I'm doing so much and I didn't feel tired because I enjoy what I do, but I also know I've not got as much energy to do everything as well as I can.
Aye.
And as well, it's just priority, I guess, because I know what I want to achieve in life. But with that, again, it's talking about that trade something's got to give.
Aye.
So it's kind of weighing that up. And not weighing it up in a way that I'm comparing, but I'm such a, as I say, I go back to talking about a core value of mine is freedom. And really, can I say right now, do I have that? Probably, in a lot of ways, yeah, because I am who I am and I know who I am, but freedom in the way time, I've no. I work and I was speaking to my mate, we were just chilling in my shop a couple of days ago, and I was like, I spend my life in that shop. The Academy's ran from the shop. So majority of my time is in there. And it's just that thing of no taking the satisfaction of life right now, going and enjoying all the things that you could, because you know you've got a bigger goal to come. But then if you think about it, if you always look at that goal to come, you're always going to keep pushing it.
Aye.
And then it's then that
time's also passing you by as well.
Exactly. So
naturally.
And that's what I've been deep in recently, to be honest with you. I'm so lucky that I do something that I love and that I feel is play in a way, if that makes sense. So I feel like a lot of people work. They didn't enjoy what they do, so it feels like work. To me, that's not the case. I've never in my life have I felt like I'm not enjoying my job.
Aye.
There's been days where I'm like, don't really want to go in the day.
Aye,
of course.
Aye.
But I love what I do, so it makes it easier that way. But then obviously adding football, and then you've got gym on top of that, and then you need to try and squeeze a little bit of life out of it.
Personal life, aye.
That's it. So it's hard. It is hard, and probably something I'd say I'm failing it in balance right now. But again, it's learning. It's taking what you've done in the past and then going, right, how can I get better here? How can I know right now I probably work too much. But again, it's that voice that goes, but you know what you want to do. And
doesn't come easy.
It doesn't come easy, because if it was easy, everyone would do it.
Exactly.
And I think there's that kind of thought process of, well, you've got to where you've got to, so ease off. But in my mind, it's like, well, this is the time I'm getting to close to where I want to be. Nowhere near, actually, yet. But I know it's going, and that's the other thing. Because, as you're saying, like we're now exploring, expanding.
Aye.
The Academy's kicked off. Next course is fully booked. We've had 3 fully booked courses in a year. So it's like, if the hard work wasn't paying off, I would then understand why you doing all of this. But everything I said I'd do in 5 years when I opened the business, I've done in 3. But it's only because I've worked so hard. So everything that I said I'm going to do in 10 years, I could possibly do in 7 or 5. You never know, because now that we're off the ground, that's the hardest bit.
Aye.
Now that we're established, people know the brand, people trust the brand. It all gets, the boys are making moves. It all becomes a bit easier then. So if you let off the new, who knows where you could have got to. And it comes back to kind of another quote. It's not really a quote, but Denzel Washington says it. At the end of your life, you're going to be sat on your deathbed, and there's going to be ghosts at all the things that you could have done with your life, and all the achievements and the best versions of you. No, and that's meaning taking that risk or working to that goal or whatever it is. And how many of them do you want to eliminate for being there? So I didn't want to get to the end and go, because it's the stuff you don't do in life that you regret. So I'm just trying to eliminate that through the work that I'm going to do. And then I look at it as, again, if I'm lucky enough to have kids in the future, as I know everyone can, I'm doing it for them. Although I've not even got them yet. I know the life that I want to be able to provide for my children, for myself. Like, I've done this just so they look at me and go, I've set good habits, and this is what happens from it. If you find what your passion is in life and you go at it resiliently, if that's even the right way to say it, but if you put the work in to get there, you can. So I just want to be, again, an influence to my future son or daughter, if I get to have one. All of that. But it's something that I'm definitely need to get better at, is that balance of working and living. But I'm learning.
Lewis, you're such a positive guy, man. Your age, honest. I'm brought up in East End of Glasgow. Didn't have any. Nobody spoke about anything like that. It was just all madness. And nobody actually had that. Nobody I was brought up with had that mindset. I can't even think of one person nobody had that mind. It was just all daftness. Stupidity.
It's just an environment, I guess.
I know.
But
you're the same. Falkirk's a small place as well, which I suppose different for Glasgow, but
there's then that thing of you can't use your past as an excuse.
No.
How you're brought up, and that can be either way.
Aye.
At some point, you need to go, right, if it's good or bad, I'm going to use that as fuel. If you've been brought up well, use that as fuel to become someone. If you've had a tough upbringing, use that as fuel. I think, and again, no, everyone's just going to like that. It didn't happen to me. I just was lucky enough to be best mates with my best mate. Really, that's how it started. No, I'm not saying I wouldn't. I got here on my own. I know
of
that.
Course.
But he showed me he opened the door slightly. Just let a wee bit of light through. And it's just surrounding yourself with people that kind of have that mindset. But that's the thing. Once you start having that mindset, people like-minded start coming into your life without you even knowing. And then you kind of didn't have as much time for the people that didn't, because you start to
feel the energy.
It's different. And the more of that you can cut out, the easier it is to be yourself. And then for me, that's been positive. Like another big thing that's helped me, and I mean, I'm no religious in any sense, respect all, but I have faith. I have faith in something bigger than us.
Higher power kind of thing.
100%. And over the last maybe couple of years, I've got really, I've got sucked in, some of my pals would say, really. But again, I'm happy with that. Like, it gives me again this positivity, this way of life for me that, again, have the glass half full, didn't have it half empty. Always finding a positive solution in whatever happens. Even if it's hard to think about right now, there will be positives through anything. Like the worst thing that could ever happen to you, think about what excitement could come out of that. It doesn't matter what it is, there'll be something. And it's just trying to find it. And once you can start programming to cancel out the negative thoughts with just positive ones, it becomes easier. And having faith in something bigger than us, it's got to be, mate. It's got to be something. How else do we have this experience? And I've not got the answer. That's it. It's
everything's too perfect. Even I'm getting too deep with the earth. So everything moves too good. Even like electricity, oil all comes to the. Do you know what I mean? Like it's all just there.
And
you know what I mean?
It's funny when I'm in the shop. Like some of the boys will go. Just for instance, one of the boys says, as I was kind of getting, like I went to the Maldives there, came back, and it took me from there to there with like just the spirituality and stuff. Oh, if you get the chance, mate, go.
Unbelievable. I've seen all the videos.
It was so good. He said to me, what did he say? Oh, he says, I'll outlive you, just because we were having a wee bit back and forth. It was a laugh. And he says, I'll outlive you. And I says to him, I said, just because you live longer doesn't mean you'll outlive me. And it just like, that was just me saying how deep I'd get with it. I can't get like that. And that's the thing as well, with having this faith of like the universe being bigger than us, and it's always looking out for you, and life happens to you, not for you. No, life happens for you, not to you. Sorry. That whatever's happening, there's a reason behind it, and you might not understand it in the time, but it might be a week from now, it might be a month from now, it might be 5 years, and you look back and go, I get it. And then you understand that sometimes hardship in life is actually the best thing that could happen to you at that time. But once you're in the depth of it, depending on what mindset you have, it can either make you or break you. And I think just having faith in everything will work out for you, because whatever it is will look out for you. Just makes life that wee bit easier. And I said to some of my mates that are like completely the other side, or not completely, but see if it is all nonsense. And whatever it is, if it's
still live a decent life regardless.
You know what I mean? If everything I say is nonsense, at least it's keeping me living the best life I can, and it gives me that faith that everything's going to work out. So for me, it is real. It doesn't need to be real for anyone else.
No.
So to me, it's one of the most important things that's helped me become who I am, is just finding faith in something being bigger than us. And that's just through books. The Secret, 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, stuff like that. I think once you start reading information in it, you didn't choose it, because someone else could read that and go, oh, nonsense.
Whatever.
Once you start reading it and feeling it, and it was just, I remember reading The Secret, and I can't remember what it was, to be fair. I can remember the game. I was playing with Camelin pre-season, and I remember it's about manifestation, and whatever you put out there will come back to you, but you need to put it out. You also need to believe it. You can't just say it.
Half-heart it.
And I remember, I can't remember what it was. I wish I could. But I remember I was playing the game and I just looked up, and whatever it was, on the park, I was like, what the hell?
Is that light?
I don't know.
No.
Honestly, I wish I knew. Part of me's thinking I looked up at the sky. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I remember the feeling I got for it.
Right.
This is real. Whatever it is. So after that game, I was right back reading more of these books, and the years down the line, who you are today, I guess.
Just absorbing it all.
Wanting to learn more about it. And again, it just helps you become positive, because it's letting you know that even in a negative way, that whatever is going to happen to you or for you is happening to help you become the best version of you. So that's just kind of always the thing that I try and tell myself. And I mean, I think going through hardship, I always say to myself, I'll be better after this. I'll be a better human after this. I'll be a better person after this. Whatever this is, will make me look at life that wee bit different and see how could I do better. And I think if you go into tough times of your life thinking that it's not going to be forever, and how can I be better after it, will just help you slightly.
Brilliant, Lewis, brilliant. Paul, what time's that? Just curious. 10 minutes left. Lewis, do you want to plug a wee bit of your stuff?
If you want.
Finish off that.
Aye. So
I'll just say it right here. So if you want to catch Lewis at any sort of, he does obviously like Academy stuff in his barbering shop, so I can catch him for in the Falkirk sort of Edinburgh, even Glasgow, I suppose you can drive through. Yeah. Catch it stuff, you know what I mean?
So the shop's based in Falkirk town centre, really. You can get us on Booksy, Instagram. Booksy and Instagram. We've got 7 barbers there, so plenty of space for us. All young lads getting after it. If you're interested in barbering and taking that next step into that as a career, if you kind of see yourself going down that path or ever just thought about it, get in touch. Cut Academy. Our next course is, so we've got a Monday course, which I believe is fully booked. That's with the PFA, so we've actually went in partnership with the PFA slightly.
Who's that with PFA?
PFA is Professional Football Association. So,
right, okay. I just get mixed up because it's barbering.
Yeah, so...
join
yeah,
force,
so basically what we do is we offer another outlet for footballers. If that's younger guys that have maybe not made it full-time and have stepped down to part-time, if it's older guys that are coming to the end of their career and looking for another life after football, again, football's a short career.
Something to fall back to.
Yeah, it just gives them, like, what am I going to do now? Barbering, again, I think as well, because I play football, I understand that you probably know, especially if you're playing with like a big team full time, you're probably not going to go right footballer, living the life, comfy, to go right bricklayer.
No.
So we spoke with a guy, Chris. He's a great guy. Helped us a lot. I'm very grateful that I met him. About starting that. So we've started an academy. So their next one is a PFA course. So it's just going to be footballers. But the next one is our Sunday course on the 11th of January it starts. So that's 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. It's a 6-month course. If it's something you're interested in, shoot us a wee message on Cut Academy or one of our social handles, Cut17.
And there's no requirements for him to get in?
No, none at all. It's not just beginners either. It's anyone that just wants to advance their skills. If you are a beginner, anyone that can see benefits from coming to Cut Academy. We also do one-to-ones as well. So if there's any barber out there that just wants a wee bit of upskilling, you can give us a message. But aye, no requirements.
Just a last thing, Lewis. I can't believe you were 22 when you were giving me all that information.
Man, away.
Smart guy. What do you want to finish on? Because I know there's a lot of, like, I think a lot of young guys are looking for something. I know, I'm not saying you're the shining light, but you know what I mean? Just, would you want to leave them something that's positive? See a guy out there who's just an average guy, he's 20 years of age, he doesn't know what he wants to do, or just life's a wee bit upside down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What would you say to him?
What would they say to him? What would they say to 20-year-old me?
Aye. That's probably better put.
Believe in yourself. Cancel out the outside noise. Never fear. It says in one of the most said things throughout all religion, the Bible, the Quran, don't fear. Never fear. Because there's no point. It's an illusion. You're worried about something that's not happened yet. And if you're worried about that, focus on how you can make it better today. But aye, believe in yourselves, number one for sure. Without that, then nothing really means anything. You're not really going to get anywhere if you didn't believe it. Be delusional with what you believe as well, because all of the greats were delusional. Michael Jordan, they would have said he was crazy to say he was going to do this and do that, but he believed in it. Also work hard. I think, and that's one thing that I kind of pat myself on the back a wee bit for. I try and not do that a lot, but hard work gets you places. There's obviously that old mindset with like my dad and my papa's generation. They just work hard, which is very beneficial. So you need to work hard to get to where you want to be. You can't just, especially for me, like manifest it. You can't just think it.
No, you can't lie in your bed and think about it.
Exactly.
Aye.
I'm going to be a millionaire, but you get your bed at 12 and you only work till 5 and then
fire away.
it needs to, but that true belief in yourself, if you truly believe it, you're going to put the work in to get there. If it's false belief, then it's just going to be, it's hope. And to me, I've actually tried to take hope out of my vocabulary. I feel like hope, like a hope for that. It feels a bit like I'm begging for something, or I'm a bit like, oh, I hope this happens. I either have faith that it's going to happen, or I'm going to work to make sure it happens. I'm not going to hope.
Aye.
Unless it's out of my control then, but I wouldn't use that word. But I believe in yourself being number one. Cancel out outside noise, because it's just outside noise. You live your own life. Find what makes you happy, mate. Money will come. If you do something that you enjoy day to day, so like this, for instance, if you truly enjoy this, mate, and you keep at it and you work hard at it, now money might not even be the vehicle.
Oh my God, money's
exactly,
my God.
That's it. But it obviously brings a bit.
Of course.
You need it.
Of course.
Find what makes you happy would be my number one, because then you'll believe in yourself. Once you've found that, and that's what I'm truly grateful for. I found something that I enjoy. So as I say, I play at work. I didn't work. I'd work 7 days a day, work 7 days a week, and I didn't mind it. And I didn't feel burnt out because I enjoy what I do. I think if you look for, I want to be this, or I want to earn that much money, I've got to do this because it pays well.
I know it's stress.
Pays well in what though? It pays you money, but it'll take your time, it'll take your peace of mind, your sanity. That will take away from your relationships, because when you go home, you're not enjoying your work and you might be a bit snappier.
Aye.
So
been there.
But also be conscious of your life. Don't just let it fly by. Think about it. Think about who you are. I know we're going a bit off topic, but I done a wee thing with my boys, just like a wee self-development day. I took them all away and I had a wee chat with them. And just, again, younger lads, I just wanted to get them thinking about their own life. And obviously no one knows them, but ask them certain questions that I wanted. One, no for me. And I told them, I was like, look, this will go nowhere. I typed it out on my laptop just so I could have the information that I could then try and advise them on, we'll probably try this or that. But the questions were that you could ask yourself, are you happy? Truly though. And don't lie to yourself. Because if you lie to yourself, then you're kidding yourself on. If yes, happy days. If no, what's the triggers that you see that you at least know of? Because there'll be one or two, and again, be truthful with yourself. There'll be a lot of stuff that you don't know that makes you unhappy through your thought patterns and stuff. But the stuff that you do know, eliminate it quick, or figure out a way to get away from that. Core values. Make sure you have your core values in check. And you'll never, if I asked you your core values right now, unless you know them, but they're ever changing as well, you wouldn't be able to give me an answer, because they're the deepest, probably the deepest question you could have. So your core values meaning what your values of life, like what mean the most to you. So again, one of mine was freedom. But I kind of need to check myself right now. So is it one of my core values? Because
you're not doing it all.
I'm not doing it.
Aye.
I've not got freedom right now.
But in your head, you think you're, aye.
So it wants to be one of my core values, but it can't be because I'm trapped behind the chair. And trapped's the wrong word because I enjoy what I do, so I'm not trapped. But
technically, in a way, you are.
Technically, in a way,
you can't move it.
I'm trapped in the thought of I need to get there.
Aye.
So I need to be here right now. So I've not really got freedom. But have your core values. Just think about it. And then it's kind of a two-part question. If you were to speak to your younger self, what would you tell him?
Too much.
Too much.
Too much.
Or if your younger self was to speak to you, what would you tell him to do? And basically that's to help the younger generation. But if you were sat at a dinner table with your future self, what would he tell you that you needed to do to get to there? And obviously you want that guy to be the best version of him, of you. So what would he tell you that you need to do to get to there?
That's mad deep, innit? But I know what you mean now.
And once you kind of figure that out, what do I need to do today? Because you can only focus on today.
Yep.
There's no point about worrying about tomorrow. What can I do today to make tomorrow easier? And once I get to tomorrow, it's the same process, and we'll fail at points. You'll not always be better, but it would just, again, so 3, find something that you enjoy, kind of working wise, believe in yourself, and be conscious of life. Don't let it just pass you by, because you can do whatever you want as long as you believe in yourself.
Brilliant, Lewis. Amazing. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
No, thanks for having me.
No bother.
It's good. I enjoyed it.